Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tom, and today I wanted to talk about my top 6 knives for 2019. Not necessarily knives that were released this year, but just knives that I've been carrying and knives that I have enjoyed. And I just want to spend a couple minutes on each of the 6 knives and give you a little bit of an overview and maybe some background and just kind of explain what I like about them. So let's start with number 1, the Chris Reeve Impinda. This is actually Tim's personal knife, so sorry I've been hanging on to this for about a month now, Tim, but it's really cool, and I'll get it back to you ASAP. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, so the Impinda is awesome. I really love the design of it. It's just a slip joint knife with 2 titanium scales and a blade, some washers, and back spring. Nothing crazy to it, and a pocket clip. But yeah, this has Bjorkman's twist Damasteel on the blade, as well as the spring, which is really a nice touch. So the way that this works is there's a lighter pull when you start, and then it gets firmer as it opens, which is cool. A little safety feature, I guess. I've never had an issue with a knife, opening or closing on me because I'm not doing anything crazy with it, but this is a heftier slip joint. It's about 3 1/4 on the blade, and the cutting edge is 3 inches. So the only thing I wish this blade was a little bit smaller, maybe 2.75. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a small version one day. That would be a welcome addition to the lineup for me. But you guys know me, and you know that I love my smaller knives. I like the pocket clip on this a lot. I love how it kind of goes with the lines of the knife. I think that's really nice. And yeah, just a great knife to use, great knife to carry. And I think if you live in a place where locking knives are not legal, this is a great offering for you. So yeah, that's the Chris Reeve Impinda, and that is knife number 1. So knife number 2 is going to be, again, in no particular order, the Jared Ozer Mini Solitude. There's so much to like about this knife. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I guess I'll start with the size comparison to the conveniently located full-size Solitude. Try and get a little light off the blade there. So you can see it's a bit smaller. There's just so much to like. I think this blade profile is really great. I think there's so many knives out there that try to do too much, or they're more, fashion over function with recurves and all this stuff. But honestly, this blade profile is more than perfect for EDC tasks. It cuts really well. It pierces when it needs to pierce, and it's just a clean design. So I can get a nice 3-finger grip on here. You can get 4 if you choke up a little bit, but again, I'm not doing anything crazy with this knife, just cutting paper and food and stuff. But yeah, there's a nice tail lock mechanism here developed by Ryu Kawamura. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Jared's been, implementing that on a bunch of his knives for a while now. I think this is the second Mini Solitude he made, which is really awesome. And I don't even know if he's done any with the, with just a slip joint version of the Mini Solitude. But at any rate, this one I love because it's just micarta, and it's just a really clean design. Micarta over black G10 liners over stainless steel liners. And yeah, just a really cool design. It's great for EDC stuff, and I've really enjoyed carrying this knife a lot, especially based on how small it is. I think this blade is about 2.5 inches or so. So that is the Jared Ozer Mini Solitude. And then here is the James Brand, the Carter. And there's a lot to like about this knife as well. So this knife is new from James Brand. It came out this year, and I just really like the shape of it. It feels really good in the hand. It's really nice for cutting tasks, and it features a thumb disc for the deployment, which is cool. I don't think I've used any thumb disc deployment knives ever, to be honest, and it feels really comfortable. It's really good for people that are left-handed or right-handed. The The locking mechanism is a sliding lock, which was patented by Benchmade for a long time, and now it's available to everyone because the patent expired. Which is a strong lock, by the way, and much stronger than anything I would need it for. But the pocket clip is really cool. It's reversible, super simple, just a really clean design. And again, I think you guys are noticing a trend in, no bells and whistles on these knives. But yeah, so there's a whole video that I would like to make about James Brand, so I'm not going to get too into them right now, but this knife has VG10, which I hope they upgrade for the simple fact that all the quote-unquote steel snobs of Instagram are poo-pooing it because, it's not M390, which is the hot shit right now, when VG10 was fine a few years ago on every Spyderco that everybody owned pretty much. But whatever, I don't even want to get into a steel debate because I don't really care. But at the end of the day, this knife is amazing for EDC tasks, and I think James Brand is killing it. And I think that, they're going to be putting out a lot of really nice knives for years to come, and they're super cool guys. So check out for them and enjoy the Carter. And the next knife that I wanted to look at is the Enrique Pena X Series Trapper Front Flipper, which is a mouthful, but that is the perfect description of the knife. So Enrique is a great knife maker. He's been making knives for a long time, and up until very recently, it was not easy to get a knife from him. So the fact that he has made a production series with this X Series, most of them were more tactical knives, and then even though this is more of a modern version of a traditional knife, it is pretty close to, traditional knives. And he does have a slip joint version called the Bronco as well, which is just a slip joint Lanny's clip. But anyway, this knife's really cool because it is a trapper pattern, which is a classic, but it has a modern twist on it in that it has a pocket clip, which I was very hesitant about. And the more I used it, the more I really enjoyed it. So it grew on me a lot. And now I really enjoy the pocket clip. It also has this bolster lock. So instead of a frame lock where you're going to be pressing on the lock bar on a smaller knife, and it makes it, hard to open. I always have trouble flipping knives on camera. It's very funny. But yeah, this knife has this bolster lock, which is almost like a hybrid of a frame lock and a liner lock. It's just really nice. It gets out of the way when you deploy it. It's got the replaceable insert in there, so you can put a fresh one in if this one gets worn down. These are made by Riate out in China, who just put out amazing knife after amazing knife. Their quality is always perfect. And the only downside I would say about this knife is that the detent is a little bit strong. It's a little tricky to flip with your index finger, but I always like doing front flippers with my thumb anyway, because it's just more comfortable in the hand. And for example here, this is a custom from Enrique, and everyone I showed this to at the knife show recently was drooling over it because the action's just so buttery smooth. So really enjoy this knife. But yeah, awesome knife from Enrique, and I hope that he makes way more of these because people seem to really dig them. And for under $300, it's as close as you're gonna get to a custom of his without actually without buying one. So this next knife is from Serge Panchenko. It's actually from Serge Knife Co. Sorry, again, having trouble with opening knives on camera. And I'm overly caffeinated today, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, but but yeah, this is a great knife from Serge. It's about $100, maybe a little bit more, and it's titanium. It's M390 for all you guys that are crazy about blade steel out there, and it's the same exact action as his mid-tech and custom knives, which is very impressive. I think that's one of the coolest things to me is when guys make these knives accessible to everybody and the quality doesn't suffer at all. So I don't know too many people that are putting out production knives that have the same quality as their customs. So pretty impressive. Serge is a super, super nice guy, and his knives are always great. This knife is a double detent knife, so it's not a locking knife. It just has, as you can see, you just put a little pressure and it'll break the detent, and yeah, fires open. Super, super nice knife. And little pocket clip there for you. So that is from Serge Panchenko, Serge Knife Co. And last but not least is, of course, a Victorinox Executive this time. Last year I put the Cadet in, but this knife honestly kind of was a sleeper for me. I shot a bunch of knives for Swiss Army, and the more I checked out this Executive, the more I really liked it. This blade is kind of like this, you know, like a classic blade on steroids, I want to say. It's much smaller than a Cadet blade. Let me break out a Cadet real quick for comparison. And it's just kind of thinner, you know? So it's a little bit smaller of a blade in length and in, you know, height or whatever. And overall, the knife is just a tiny bit smaller. So this is actually a great knife if you want to just keep, you know, more of a, I don't know, a compact carry, I guess. If you don't want to bring a big knife with you, or you know you're not going to really need a knife, but you just want to have something on you just in case. And then there's the small pen blade like you would see on maybe a classic. There's also this orange peeler, hence the Executive name, because I guess executives really like oranges, I guess. I don't peel oranges with them, but it does have a really nice flathead driver on top for little flathead driver tasks, I guess. I've used it a couple times for small screws and stuff like that. And obviously the scissors that we all know and love from Victorinox are on there. And there's this nice file with a little under your nail cleaner there. There's the file on this side. And of course, the tweezers and the beloved toothpick, which I enjoy very much. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to David Black, who's a guy from Spain that makes the Executive in a titanium version, which I absolutely love. And I was lucky enough to grab one from him this year. I wish he had a little slot for the tweezers and toothpick in there, but you know, it's all good. This is still super cool. Titanium with acid washed tools. You can get a little close up there. Pretty slick, but yeah, awesome knife. And I don't even know, this is probably less than 30 bucks or something. It's like, you'd be crazy to not own this. It's just something you can keep in your fifth pocket, and you always have a little, you know, a little something on you. It's like a nice little multi-tool to have. You got scissors, you got a blade, you have a little something for screwing in some small screws if you're in a pinch, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my favorite knives of 2019. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if you agree, disagree, you hate my guts, you love these knives. Just let me know what you think. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Peace.